Alright guys, I'm doing another video. This one's gonna be kind of a long one, and I was debating whether I actually wanted to do it, but I was like, fuck it, why not? But yeah, it's probably gonna be pretty long, so like if you don't have a lot of time or something, I guess just wait, 'cause it's probably like 15-20 minutes. But I created a Twitter for this account. It's, I think, at Demonic Inc. 1. Or I think it's actually just at Demonic Inc. with no spaces and no capitals. And I also created a Discord, which is, I think, the same thing, just not like at Demonic Inc., just like Demonic Inc. So if you want, go follow me on that, and I'm gonna start tweeting out when I actually have some followers, when I'm uploading, and like when I start the upload, or like when the video has just been uploaded, so it reaches people quicker. Let's get into the story. The story was not too long ago. It wasn't, or like, this story just has so much bullshit that happens that like, I just hate everybody that was involved in this. And I actually lost 2 friends in this story because I don't know why. They were just being terrible. But anyway, so let's get into the story. So it's like a normal day. I'm at school. First period just ended, going to second period, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know what it was, but as soon as I sat down, you could just tell that the teacher, let's come up with a name for him. I swear, like, every time I mention him in a video, I have to come up with a new name. Let's call him let's call him Boy, because he actually hates this, and it's gonna come kind of funny. But let's just call him Boy for now, like, because you'll get it in a second. But anyway, so like as soon as I walked in, Boy was just looking at me and like giving me them death stares. You could kind of tell. So I sit down, start pulling out my computer, getting ready, and then I can't remember exactly, but he got mad at someone in the class. It was probably me, and was like, "That's it, everyone, close your Chromebook." And I just logged in. I was like, "Wait, why?" And then I closed it anyway, and I was like, "Well, man, that's gay. I didn't want to sign back in, but okay." So I had to freaking sign back in, and literally, I thought that was it. I thought it was gonna be fine. I thought there's no more that was gonna come from this conversation. But apparently, there was a lot more that was gonna come from this conversation. So like, it was just a lot of bullshit already, because he got mad at me and was like looking at me still with that fucking like death stare. Like he would try to look forward and talk, and he'd look back at me and be like, "What the fuck you doing?" Like with them eyes. So I'm like, "Dude, can you just kind of like fuck off a little bit? Like that'd be great if you could just fuck right off." But of course he's a teacher, so he isn't gonna just fuck right off. I know, I wish he'd fuck right off too. But anyway, so we're sitting there, and then he's talking, doing some dumbass speech for like 10 minutes, and I get bored, so I have my Chromebook in my hand. My fingers are in between both screens, and like the screen and the keyboard, and I'm just messing with it. And then I drop it on accident, and he yells at me and says, "What are you doing? Are you purposely trying to do everything that I told you not to?" Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the reason why he was mad is because in the beginning of the class, my friend, let's just call him Long Hair, because he has really long hair. But Long Hair, freaking, he was calling roll call, and Long Hair said, like A or something, like, "Yeah, he's here." And the teacher literally started flipping out on him, like, "No, dude, you need to say here. I will never know if you don't say here." And it's like, you didn't have to rant and yell at him just for that. Like, could have just said, "Can you say here?" And no, he was pissed and like yelling at him. And I was just like, "Dude, you're kind of a faggot," in my head. So when he called my name, I was like, "Gone." And then he sat there for a second and was just like, "What?" And then he looked at me and was like, "I could have marked you absent," just started yelling at me, and I'm just like, "Dude, I give zero fucks." Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. because I already don't like this teacher, and the fact that he felt the need to just yell at another student because he said A instead of here, like, come on, dude, get a life. But anyway, so that was the part that I forgot. That was the reason why. But let's jump back forward. I know there was kind of a few jumps. I hate when I do that, but sometimes I just forget. But anyway, so we're going. Oh yeah, I dropped the computer, and he's just like, "Why are you defying everything, or why are you trying to defy everything I told you not to do?" And I'm like, "I'm not. I just dropped the computer." And he's like, "You had the computer open like a tent." I was like, "Dude, I was fidgeting with it. I didn't even do anything." And he was like, "Go out." And I was at this point, honestly, I was pissed. Like, when I get in the heat of the moment, I'm ready to just go ballistic. Like, I'm fucking North Korea. Except for I actually have balls to do something. But anyway, so he's doing that, like yelling at me, and I'm just like, why? Why? Like, I said why like 4 times. Because I'm just like, no, what's your fucking reason? That's bullshit. And he had no fucking reason. And so I went outside after that, and then one of the, not the principal, but like, because we basically have 3 principals at our school in tiers. It's basically like the second tier principal is what I'm going to call him, because we have like a counselor, but he's basically a principal as well. Because we have our main principal, which is like 90 years old. Then we have our second one, which is also a guy, but he's a counselor, and he's not really a principal. But so the counselor is the one who came down there, and he was like, "So are you supposed to leave or not?" And I'm like, "No, I actually have work that I need to catch up on. My group's pretty far behind." And I go back in the, or no, I actually wanted to go back in the class, and I was like, "Dude, I have work I want to do. Can I just go do work?" And him and the counselor are talking, and I'm just like, and then he starts saying some shit, saying like I was purposely trying to make him mad, purposely trying to do this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, dude, I didn't do any of that shit. And like, I'm calling him out. I'm like, I didn't do that. I did not freaking purposely try to defy you. And every time I asked him, he wouldn't tell me. He's one of those tough guys that like pretends like he has 100,000 reasons, but then if you ask him to explain, he won't. But like if I have some beef with you, I'm gonna explain why. I'm not just gonna be like, no reason. I just don't like you. Like, no, I'm not gonna be like that. But so I wanted to go inside, and he was like, no. And he was like, okay, I'll just grab your stuff and you can go out to the office. And I'm like, excuse me, you ain't gonna touch my shit. Walk inside, grab my bag, like rip it out of his hands. I'm like, don't even do that. And then he says, he made some smart ass remark to the class and be like, this is why you don't. And then I can't remember exactly what the mark was, but it was something like a smart ass remark. And then I got up in his face and just yell, well, not yell, but like, you know, you kind of like lean down and just go, boy. And that's why I'm calling him boy, of course. So I like leaned down, was just like, boy. And then walked out, just fucking zero fucks given. The entire class is laughing. He's pissed. His face is redder than like blood. So freaking, I walk out, go up to the office. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just do my work up here. I have no problem. So me and my other 2 group mates, they're both girls, and oh, sorry, I had to burp. But they're both girls, and I didn't know this at the time, but apparently they're backstabbing bitches because I was doing my work, just being normal, and they wouldn't stop deleting because I was numbering our name, or not numbering, I was putting our names for who was doing the project, and I put them as like, I was like, research their names, and I was actually doing the main writing assignment. I was like, you know what, you guys can fuck off, because they kept deleting my, I didn't actually say they could fuck off, but I was actually getting kind of annoyed, because they wouldn't stop deleting my edits, and I was like, guys, can you actually stop? I'm trying to get work done. So I'm just like, really, guys, can you stop fucking around? We're actually pretty far behind. And these 2 girls, just to do a web, it took them over a week. I could do that in like half a period, or well, probably like a full period, not half a period. That's kind of a bit of exaggeration. But I could do it in a full period. These 2 girls cannot work on anything. Half the freaking period, they're either talking about fucking periods, or they're talking about like fucking boys. Because literally one, and those 2 were having so much beef between them, and I was having to just be in the middle, like the middleman, just like, can you 2 kind of just fuck off? Like, come on, and actually do work. And they're arguing about this dude that like apparently got nudes from their friend or something, and I'm just like, can you guys like fucking not? I don't have the time for this shit. But anyway, like we literally had to work in the office in like a meeting room just because they didn't trust them together that much. But So I'm fucking in the office doing that. I had to do that with them. And then I was in the office again, like I said, because I left the class, doing my work, and they wouldn't stop deleting my shit. And I kept adding it back, and I eventually got so pissed off that I was just like, can you guys stop under the thing? And they just instantly deleted it. And then they come up to the office, or no. Sorry, there might be a small cut there for a second, because I fucking accidentally said the teacher's name. So I had to cut that out, and yeah. I'm not leaving his name in, because then I'll just get mind-fucked by everyone at school, and then he'll ask me to delete my channel or something, probably, if he finds it. But anyways, let's get back to where we were. They come up, and Mr. Boy, yeah, I almost said his name again. Mr. Boy, freaking, he saw them fucking around, and then just out of instinct, because they're whores, they blamed me. And they were like, oh, Tyler keeps deleting shit. And I'm like, I'm actually working on the document. I had like 4 or 5 paragraphs written down of just work while they were sitting there fucking around. I was like, excuse me guys, can I work? And then the people from the office come up and they're like, you need to get away from the computer, just zone out. They actually told me to play on my phone, which this is gonna come into view in a little bit of the story for why I was so pissed. Is they tell me just go play on my phone or something. I'm like, no, I'm actually trying to do work. Can you tell them to stop? And I'm just like completely refusing. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's not gonna happen. And I'm like, I'm trying to do work, and they won't stop deleting stuff. And I was like, you know what? Fine. You guys want me to stop? I guess I'll just make them stop too. So I was like, click the off button so none of them could edit. So because I was like, this is bullshit. I'm getting harassed for actually doing work. Like, what kind of fucking rundown Detroit-ass school? I don't actually live in Detroit, but, like, literally this is the kind of school you'd probably see in fucking Detroit. Because, well, the teachers, some of them are, because they're fucking whores. Sorry. A little bit of cursing. But anyway, so, I'm like, just, no, I'm refusing, 100%, and I'm just like, not gonna happen. And I just make so they can't edit, and they're like, what'd you do? And then the teacher calls, he's pissed, he's like yelling into the thing, just like, no, this is not gonna happen. And he's like, whatever, I'll just hack his computer. So he goes in and uses like some bullshit administrative account and just changes my password, locks me out, gives them the fucking document. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? So I emailed this faggot. I was like, this is pretty pathetic. You're like kicking me out. My classmates obviously need help. You're giving them access to the document where they're fucking around. Like, this is ridiculous, dude. But I was just like, yeah, it's super fucking ridiculous. I shouldn't have to deal with this. But, of course, I did because it's fucking me, and I guess he just hates me. Like, as soon as I came in this class, this dude hated me. But, so I was fucking doing that. I'm just 100% refusing, just not gonna happen. And he hacks my account, locks me out. And I sent them the email. Well, then all of a sudden they come in, they're like, really? What the fuck? So then I go over to this other class, and they're like talking to me about it. They're like, look, you can't be doing this. And I come back the next day, my password's still off, my shit's gone. They still have my account document. So I walked up to him, and I was like, dude, if you don't fucking, because I have the account on my phone, I was like, if you don't fucking give me my thing back, and if I don't get my password back and you guys don't give me my document back, I'm gonna snap your computer over your head. Like, I was being 100% on this. I was like, I will snap it over your head. And I really want to still, and freaking, I was actually, to be honest, pretty close to doing it. I was that mad. Like, I was in fight mode, like John Cena versus a fucking pigeon. Or wait, no, that'd be Mike Tyson. But I'm just pissed. Like, I'm getting ready to fucking kill this dude. Because it's so annoying when you do all that work on something and then someone just steals your document. So now they're trying to claim it as their own document, as their own work. And I'm like, no, I did all this work. Fuck that. But, so we're just going back into class next day. And he's like, oh, no, you're gone till Monday. And I'm like, I ain't leaving until you give me my password and my document back. And he's like, oh, well, I sent the password to her. Not fucking yesterday, you didn't. And then apparently they sent it to him today, or they sent it to it today. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I come to find out, because I sent this email on my phone, because it locked me out of my computer, They literally wanted to have a teacher, this super nice, sweet teacher. Like, honestly, I'm kind of sad that, like, they tried to make her do this, because she's super nice. Like, she's just a really nice teacher, and she has to deal with bullshit all day from little kids that just annoy the fuck out of everyone. Like, they're the little kids that would have a fucking suicide bomber thing on their chest and blow people up. These kids are insane. And they're all, like, little kids. But, so she has to deal with that shit all day. And then they tried to make her steal my phone out of my bag while I was gone at lunch. And when I find that out, I'm pissed. I'm like, really? You guys would do that? And I'm so glad. This teacher is so nice. She declined. But she did have to do something, so they told them to just send me home. So, freaking, this is the next day, of course. I get sent home, and I'm just like, whatever. At least I got my password back. And my password was some stupid password that, honestly, I should have guessed. Like, I should have known, I feel like. If I would have taken enough guessing, I probably could have got it, except for maybe the capitals in it. But, so after all that, I just get sent home, and they're literally ranting to my mom, telling all this stuff that I didn't even do, and I'm like, excuse me? What kind of school is this where I literally get kicked out for doing work? And I'm just so pissed at this. I'm snapped at this point. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm so tired of this like, systematic bullshit. Not racism, bullshit. But anyway, so it's just like I'm super pissed off because I get sent home, but at least I got to stay home and play video games for that hour. Like, to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I got to just play games once I got home. But then the next day, I'm getting in trouble by everyone. I'm kicked out of that history class by Mr. Boy, and the sweet teacher that I was talking about, she came and talked to me and was like, "Hey, so this can't be happening." And then she told me I can't have my phone. Oh yeah, and when the other teacher, the one that was talking to my mom, was telling me that I can't do shit, she was like, "Oh yeah, you can't have your phone out." And I'm like, "You literally encouraged me to have my phone out the other day. What kind of hypocritical person are you?" But I just forgot that little detail, and I don't want to leave it behind just because I want this to be like a full, complete story. And anyway, so yeah, it was just ridiculous. I was like, this is bullshit. But then the really sweet teacher came up and was like, "Yeah, so have you ever thought of going to another school?" Like, trying to convince me, because she was like, "You can't have your phone out anymore," and just like, the funny thing is I was actually on Twitter right as she said this. So like, fucking, it's Twitter. There's all kinds of weird shit on there. And I'm just like, really? You're gonna try to make me? And earlier in the day, I was playing on my phone. I listened to music, texting people. Fucking on Snapchat, people sending me pictures of like drugs and shit. Like, I'm not even joking. I literally get those kind of pictures sometimes from people on Snapchat. But I'm just scrolling through that stuff, and I'm so glad that she didn't actually look at my phone during that, because otherwise I probably would have gotten in a lot of trouble. And she also yelled at me, and they put me on restricted access for my Chromebook, which basically means I just can't do anything, because I was in Google Drawings, and I was so bored, and I forgot I still had screen share on, and I drew a pot leaf, because, like, what else do you do when you're bored? So I drew a fucking pot leaf and was just like, there's nothing to fucking do. Like, what is there to do right now? And then, like, I find out a little bit later, it's like, oh, you're on restricted access. And I'm like, and I think it was also because of the email. But the funny thing is, alright, guys, I'm actually sorry for all these cuts. I cannot get through this today. But anyway, so I was drawing a pot leaf. And then the sweet teacher asks me, like, and she is super nice. I don't know if I've already gotten over this. I'm sorry. I accidentally just deleted, like, the last 6 or so minutes of the video. So, like, I'm not sure what I have gone over and already. I listened to some of it, but I'm pretty sure that I haven't talked about this yet. But the super sweet teacher, they tried to force her to steal my phone, and she didn't end up doing that. I just got sent home. But then she's talking to me that day, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then she starts telling me to get off my phone and, like, saying I can't use it anymore. And I was on Twitter just scrolling through, like, some pretty fucked up shit. And I'm honestly glad that she didn't see it, but she's normally super nice. And she's telling me, like, from the gist of what she was saying, she was trying to get me to leave. Like, just straight up leave the school, go to a different one, or end up in her room all day. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. And she's like, well, do you want to be in this room? And I'm like, no. Well, she's like, if you keep doing this, this is what's gonna end up happening. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm tired of getting blamed for all this. It's so fucking annoying. And then Mr. Boy, he's not helping at all. I go to his class and I instantly start getting in trouble, like, anytime I go there. So I'm like, well, this is stupid. And she's like, well, you need to stop blaming everyone but yourself. And I'm like, well, maybe you need to realize that, like, sometimes this shit is actually true. Like, my school literally has a history for teachers that have gone in, like, clinically insane and have had to be put in, like, insane asylums. There was literally 2 or 3 teachers that went insane in the history of my school. And then there was one who got a heart attack because he used to abuse children in his class. And then when a teacher found out about it, he just had a heart attack and died. Like, that's how bad the record for this school has been. And we still get crazy teachers, like, all the time. And it's just like, I'm so tired of this, guys. Like, come on. But she's like trying to get me to go to a different school or something. Like, basically trying to kick me out without kicking me out. And I'm just like, wow, are you really going there? Like, I honestly thought you were nice, and then you're just kind of doing this and kind of making my feelings change. But so I was doing that. She's talking, and I'm just like, did that really just happen? Like, that's fucked up. And she just keeps going on talking. She says that, and I'm just like, well, shit sucks. And she's telling me that if I keep getting in trouble, I'm not going to be able to go to any of my classes. I'm going to end up in a room. And I'm like, I just won't go to school if that happens. Like, I'm not going to come and sit in this class all day and learn nothing while you just sit here and yell at me. Like, fuck that. So, that's just kind of what I was like. That was my opinion. And she was listening, and I was like, well, okay, I hope you understand this. But that's kind of the gist of what happened. And then I ended up leaving that class. I go to my next period, and one of the bitches from my group was there. And as soon as I saw her, I was already kind of mad. I was like, you know, because the entire day she had been coming up and, like, messing with me. Like, during lunch, she literally was like, fuck you. Like, she was just sat there and was like, fuck, like, she was walking by and said, like, fuck you or something, and I stood up and flipped her off right in front of the principal. The funny thing is he actually didn't do nothing for some reason. Like, this is one of the rare times where I think he just wasn't paying attention, like, daydreaming or something. I flipped her off right in the middle, and she's, like, freaking out. She's like, what the fuck? And, of course, she doesn't get any trouble for it. Like, she never gets in trouble for anything because she's a girl. Girls at my school are fucking, they don't get in any trouble almost ever unless they're super bad, because most teachers favorite girls over guys. Like, a lot of my teachers are girls, very few of them are actually guys, and some of the few guy teachers that we have are actually really shitty. But we actually have quite a few that are really nice. Like, we have one, Mr. Computer Guy, he's pretty cool. Our other history teacher, the one for 8th grade and 6th grade, he's pretty cool. Um, of course, I don't have him anymore, because, like, yeah, we just don't have him anymore. And then we had another one, and he was pretty cool, but we only have, like, 3 guide teachers or so that are actually nice. So, a lot of them are girls, and they just favorite girls over guys. But I'm getting off topic. So I walk into class, I'm just like, sit down, and she's yelling at me for messing with the books, and I'm like, this is my cross, praise Jesus, messing around. And she's just like, can you stop it? Like, come on. And the girl from the side of the room keeps telling me, like, hey, shut up. And I literally stood right up and said, shut the fuck up to her. I was just, like, right in front of the teacher and everything. I said, shut the fuck up. She was like, get out of my class. And I thought she meant just go outside, so I started going outside, and then she was like, oh, no, you're going out to the office. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me go grab my stuff. So I grab my stuff, and as I'm walking out, I just walk out with my middle finger up. The teacher sees me. She turns around and is, like, on the phone. Sorry to cough. She sees me, and she turns around, and I just stand up, both middle fingers out, flipping them off and stand up and walk out. And she's, like, freaking out. She's like, oh my god. And then I come up to the office, and I tell the people, and they're just like, damn, like, don't be doing that. And I'm like, well, I'm tired of this. My stuff gets stolen, and no one ever does anything about it. And like I get in trouble for things that they don't even investigate, like they don't even look at it and see, when they have computer records of everything that goes on in the computers, and they just never look into it. Like it's really easy for them to look into it, and I just get fucked in the end. So today's video. If you liked, like, that was basically how the story ended. There wasn't really much to go after that. Like, I just kind of got fucked in the end. But if you guys liked this video, I know it was a super long one, but this story, like, this was like 3 days worth of stories that all happened in a chain. But if you like, please subscribe. I would love to get all them YouTube subscribers. But yeah, it'd just be awesome to get more subscribers, get my stories out more. Share, follow me on Twitter, Discord. I don't have an Instagram or anything yet. Yeah, just go and follow me at Demonic Inc. I think it's either Demonic Inc. or Demonic Inc. 1, and Discord is like same thing, Demonic Inc. But yeah, like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that. Oh yeah, and a lot of people ask me like, when am I gonna upload? Like, what time do you upload? Just hit the bell notification button, and then it'll tell you as soon as I upload. Or again, just follow me on Twitter, and I'm gonna be tweeting every time that I upload from now on. And yeah, just like I'll tweet it out, or just hit the bell notification button. And yeah, if you like my stories, thanks, it means a lot. Thanks for listening. I know this was a super long video and I keep repeating myself, but I can't really think of anything else that I really needed to mention. So I guess bye.